Didn't add us to the stream. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the She Said No podcast for this very special presentation. Gigi and I started a conversation on one of our walks, and then we decided, we should just go live with this, just kind of mess around, because she was getting a little bit feisty, and we figured, all right, let's let's just see what the community has to say about this. So, really, the purpose of this is I've been taking note of my toy tax, as we've mentioned before on the podcast. I've been actually, been a bit more disciplined. I had some pretty bad months where I was getting way too many figures in. And recently I was like, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming this year. I got to slow down a little bit and kind of start paying off some of my debts and get caught up. So let's catch everyone up. And this is going to be really not sexy, but you know what? We're just going to do it like this. First of all, Gigi, is that the correct take on kind of the purpose of this stream?
Sorry, I was not paying attention.
And by the way, if I haven't introduced us, I'm Marco G, aka the 6-Scale Scoundrel, and I'm joined here by my beautiful co-host Gigi. Gigi, say hi.
Hi.
And you weren't paying attention to anything. You don't even know why you're here.
Yeah, I mean, I know why we're here, but I don't know if you know why we're here.
Yeah, why are we here? You tell everyone.
You wanted a tax deduction, and you were getting crazy with it, and I was like, we'll get there, but this is a negotiation, essentially.
Yeah, that's basically
what
it is. Yeah,
okay.
I mean, for the most part, it's a negotiation, right? So, again, this is not sexy at all, but kind of to give you a sneak peek behind how we keep track of the toy tax here, I've hidden a lot of stuff, right? And also, I kind of set up the toy tax so where Gigi won't sum it all up, hopefully. But since we started keeping track, this really shows.
You're sharing.
Yeah, I'm showing. So on the left are kind of the figures that I've gotten in recently, and then on the right you see all the math trickery that we do.
What's the red mean?
The red is normal. Well, I don't know that it's even consistent, but I'll make a note on the far right. But basically, the red would normally denote like when I'm in the red, when I owe the account's money, and then the black would be like when I'm caught up or when I've got a little bit of a cushion right now. So just to catch everyone up, at the bottom of all this, it really shows, okay, I'm $250 in the black, right? So I've got a $250 cushion that I could ultimately apply to what I have upcoming. So let me stop sharing. Go ahead, Gigi.
So also I feel like this is my fault. I would take full responsibility because I gave you a toy tax one time.
You mean an exemption?
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever. One time, and now he's like, can I get a toy exemption? That's not how this works. It was a one-time thing, and now here we are negotiating another one.
You know what? You should know as a future attorney that you can't give anyone an inch because, you know me, I'm a scoundrel. If I see any leeway, I'm going to prey on that weakness. And so you'll see in there, we've kind of had some back and forth. Like, okay, you did this. You get an adjustment.
Okay, let's get to it.
Yeah,
this
literally.
Can't be a long one.
Yeah, it's not going to be a long one. This will be a pretty brief stream. So let me just really quickly talk about why I'm prepping, right? So I've got the $250 cushion. I've got a release coming. So this was my most anticipated.
When you say cushion, is that surplus?
For the cushion. Yes, it's surplus. Correct. Okay. So I'm beyond caught up.
Okay.
I've contributed more to the account than I have figures that were tax eligible. Really
quick, do you just throw in a lump sum, like, and be like, I know that's what you tell me, like, I'm going to put X amount this paycheck.
And by the way, the fact that Gigi's asking questions, this is a shared document, so she has every ability to go through.
I know, but you'll tell me, hey, I'm going to put X amount from this pay period.
Yeah.
And then
certain times, sometimes if we have like an extra, like if I cashed out vacation or anything along the lines, I'll try to catch up. Again, knowing that a lot of heat is upcoming. We've got the Rooted Joker 2-pack. We've got a lot of other stuff. But let's talk about what I've got incoming hopefully very soon. So this is one that I ordered from overseas. I ordered from Hong Kong. And I actually had it paid off from, right when it was announced because this is a $520 pack. But I got it for $485 shipped. So by paying it in full, right, that is risky to pay something in full, especially overseas, right? Your credit card protections kind of run out. But it is from a trusted buyer. So I did go with Toys Buying Agent or Tim Cent. And they've kind of been saying like, oh, it'll be shipping soon. It's already in stock here at Sideshow. So I messaged them like, hey, is the retail batch for them out yet? And they said, oh yeah, actually on the 19th we'll be getting it in, and then we'll be shipping it out to you. So I'm like, okay, this is a very large pack here, and so trying to prepare for it.
Okay,
basically.
Let's get to the juicy stuff.
Calmate. I'm going to address the chat, and then let's get into the negotiations here. So
I'm ready.
Really quickly, we got Ye in here. Hey, Ye, thank you for joining. We got Lemur Hernandez. Hey, everybody. Lemur, thank you. Leonardo, thank you for joining.
It's Leonardo, but okay, go
That's
on.
what I said, right? Okay. Anyways, Danny Lee. Danny, what's going on, brother? How are you? We've got some guy. What up, peoples? And this is a very niche stream right here, so this is not going to be for everybody, but really appreciate all of you joining. We got Ty, Uncommon Flex. Hey, fam. Ty, what's going on? Ty's been sharing with me the statues that he's been 3D printing and painting.
Cool.
He is very talented. Like, he has been crushing it. So
show this to Liz, please. She will want to see this stream.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see. Some guy said, Marco, my friend, I was married for 13 years. Trust me, they always win. Sorry, brother. I think you're exactly right, but I
don't think he's right.
I'm trying to put up a fight for the little guy. We've got my brother John, the Everyday Collector. John, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Thank you for joining this. We got the absolute legend, Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan, thank you for joining here. And we've got, let's see, we've got 12-inch Moose Stream as well. 12-inch Moose Stream, thank you so much for joining our silly little stream here. So, all right, so kind of address the background. I've got $250 cushion in our toy tax pot. Some additional background. We're going on some vacation, so we're going to Hawaii.
He doesn't have to pay a tax on. He's already paid the tax on.
Correct. So basically, those funds will be used towards that trip, right? Like, okay, and Gigi contributes to this account as well. So kind of our pooled funds will be going towards a trip, and we also want to go to Mexico at the end of the year. So that's kind of what it goes to. $250 cushion, since I've contributed more than figures that have been coming in. Got the Nightmare Batman and Superman 2-pack in. So, Gigi, I will let you give the rest of the background on why we wanted to have this conversation with the community.
Well, more for you, because I feel like you're being, sorry, I can't think words today.
Greedy?
Yes, you're being greedy. Like, I had already given you a tax exemption. It is a tax exemption because you don't have to pay the tax.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Okay. Or sometimes I'll pay less tax, or you'll give me.
Yeah. Okay, so I had done this one time, maybe twice now. Honestly, it has not been like a very common thing that we do. So Marco was like, I would like to talk about a toy tax exemption. And I was like, well, normally it's like he does something nice, or like, it's his birthday or something. Like, it's a very rare occasion that he does something nice, so he does not get a lot of toy tax.
It says, I'm over here cooking dinner every night. You have class.
That's true. Shout out to you.
I'm such a sweetheart.
I have been struggling this semester. It's been a lot, and Marco has been coming in clutch cooking.
Hence why
and dinner.
Thank you for that. And hence why we haven't had an episode of the podcast, because she is just so insanely busy. We're like, we're going to do this on our lunch break. And
yes. Anyway, so he was like, I was like, okay, I'm a hippie and I want to conserve water. Like, that's just like, Marco like wastes a lot of water. He takes like 1,000-hour showers, and like, we don't, anyway. So I was like, okay, when you open the faucet, when you're taking a shower.
And speak into the mic if you wouldn't mind.
Sorry. When you shower, you have to turn on the knob, and like the water has to run for a while before it becomes hot.
And we've got an old school bathroom. We do want to renovate our bathroom. Another thing the toy tax would go towards. But we've got, the bath on the bottom, so you've got to run it and then switch over to the shower. And so, 1,000-hour showers. I love my shower. My warm showers, that's where I do my best thinking. Nothing weird goes on in there, but I love my long showers.
And I'm like, that's enough. You need to get out.
Over here, we're in a drought.
A lot of water.
But we have turf in the front and the back, so it's like we don't use it on the lawn, so I figured we're balancing out.
But, I'm just trying to reduce my carbon footprint here. And so I was like, okay, how about we put like a little bucket, and when you open the faucet, while you wait for it to get warm, we can collect that water, and I will use that water to water the plants, okay? Because our plants are dying. Like, we had like a excessive heat wave in where we live. It was like 110, 111.
115 it
yeah,
got to
it was
one day.
our plants, our poor plants.
A lot of brown going on
like
in the front
trees,
and back.
I guess.
We try to do drought tolerant stuff, but even then it was just killing.
It was bad. So I said, you don't even have to water the plants. I will take the bucket out and like water the plants myself, okay? And so he didn't have to do anything. Like all he had to do is agree to put the bucket down and like make sure that the water was going in there. That's it. He doesn't have to remove that. He doesn't have to water the plants, nothing.
I'm over here changing my routine. And I will say Gigi knows how to manipulate me, much like you would a child. She was like, okay, what can I bribe him with to comply with this request? And okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, what about a toy tax exemption? And then he was like, well, how much? Well, first you said, okay, we can try it for a month, but how much is the toy tax exemption?
Also, I love how weird this stream is. Someone who's like into hot toys, all of a sudden you're seeing a husband and wife arguing about shower and water conservation.
Negotiations. This is how it works, okay?
So, really quick, Funky Cold Santa's asking what state? In California. So, we've got some severe drought over here.
So then he was like, okay, what's the toy tax? And I was like, we'll discuss later. And just because I've been like insanely busy. So I was like, okay, what about 10%? So then Marco goes through to his spreadsheet and calculates
10% of what though?
Of whatever your balance was, right? Because you have a balance or whatever, right? So I said, what about a 10% toy tax exemption? So he goes and calculates however much he spent. And then he goes, that's $75. First of all, $75 at 10%. Yeah. How much are you in the red? That is a substantial amount.
And Bob Dylan is saying, toy tax, California doesn't have enough taxes already. I'm saying, I'm contributing to everything, and now I'm getting triple dinged over here. Come on. For a man who's just trying to enjoy his Batman and Superman.
You already have. Don't even get me started. You already have a Batman and Superman. I don't even understand this. Anyway, moving on.
So my counter.
How many Supermans do you have? Anyway, let's not get into that.
Just two so far. And so, no, I do want you to talk about what you think of this 2-pack, because I know we've talked about it on the podcast, but really quickly. So you said 10%, and I forget what we used, but it was roughly $75.
Yes.
My counter proposal was $250, because for me, I was like, I can stack on top of my existing cushion, and I can get up to $500. I got this Batman Superman 2-pack, $485 shipped. I was like, that'll give me more than enough to cover that, and I don't have to stress about my tax, and I can just enjoy this fully.
So first of all, this 2-pack, I like this 2-pack better than what you have. I don't like the red and the blue on the Superman. The Batman, I just like the accessory. He's very fashionable. Prefer it over what you already have because it has a little coat and little scarf. Very fall fashion. I love it.
Oh, okay, so it's different enough that you're into.
No. I would prefer for you to just have one. Like I prefer this over, and I feel like we've talked about this black suit before. And before you got the Superman, I was like, why don't you just get the black suit?
Yeah, so that was my plan because
we're deviating.
Let me just talk about this. When I pre-ordered this was going to be my one and only Superman. Since then, shout out to Danny, who's another scavenger in the community, sold me the BVS BVS Superman for a really great price. I think for like $250 shipped. Ooh. So I was able to add that. Danny, he doesn't come around as often, and then also Ty. Shout out to Ty and Common Flex. I sound like a rat right now. I'm like snitching everyone out. He sold me the Justice League Superman for an incredible price as well. So all of a sudden now I went from this was going to be my one Superman to now I've got 3, which wasn't the plan, but I do love Superman. Like that's my guy. So
let me
go ahead. You address the chat.
Hi Tyria. I think we established that it was Tyria, right?
I think Tyria, but maybe Tyria.
I can't remember. I know I had it right the first time, and then you put doubt in my head. Hi Philip the Fool. Brandon Salad. Oh, sorry. Paul Schreiber, yo.
What's going on, Paul?
And Brandon Salad. I love that name. Hold on. I want to.
That Batman's on the cover of Vogue. That's awesome. Okay.
So, Bob Dylan, I'm glad you said this. He says, if Gigi wants to counter with you already have a Batman and Superman, then your rebuttal is that then wear the same outfit every day. Bob Dylan, I do wear the same outfit every day. I wear the same sweater I recently, like, it was really hot and now it's a little bit chilly, and I wear the same sweater. It's Marco's high school sweater.
She also wears a t-shirt that was one of mine from a basketball tournament
in
from
junior
when I was
high.
like,
yeah. So I do. Thank you. I do wear. So.
It's not equitable over here. Let's see. So Bob, OG fan, what's going on? Toy taxes. This may help explain why I'm doing this. This is our attempt at a compromise. It's been working so far, but right now we kind of hit a roadblock, and so we're like, let's go to the community and see what everyone thinks.
Because I think he's being unfair.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
So some guy saying, Marco, what I did, I bought the 2-pack just for the Batman, then sold the suit. I actually want the Superman more than I do the Batman. Initially, I thought about selling the Batman, but now I've got a certain plan for him. But that's really what I should have done, was linked up with you. If we would have known each other before I bought this, and we could have figured out how to the clone collector, what's going on? Don't let him buy Gigi. Don't fall for his tactics. How dare you? Come on. In the words of Zach, how dare you?
$250? How did you go from 10% to $250? How do you think that's gonna work?
Clone collector says, Gigi, when he says it's only Superman, this means there will be hundreds more. Wow, whose side are you on?
This is already like your third one, right? Like,
this
why?
is yeah, this would be my third.
Yeah, why?
Because I love these characters. We've gotten into it in another episode. We don't need to relitigate
It literally
that.
just feels like the ones you have right now. It feels like the light is on one and the light is off on another one. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, so Danny's saying not Danny Lee,
yes.
different Danny. Let's see. Sorry, let me address this first. Ty is saying Marco Gigi was a different Ty. Yeah, not that Ty. Totally. Bob Dylan saying, Your Honor, permission to treat the witnesses also. I don't know who the witness is in this case, but it must be me. Oh, wait. Let's see. Bob Dylan saying, objection. You wear the same sweater for sentimental reasons. Yes, I do love that she wears my clothes, but it is
not sentimental reasons. They're just very comfortable.
No,
it's my comfort blanket.
Okay,
that's true.
Okay, so let's start the negotiations here, since we did say we wanted a short
So
one.
we went to $250 down to sorry.
So we went from $75 was your proposal, $250 was mine. Okay, so
10%. 10% was my proposal, and it just so.
Sorry, y'all. Ow. Pancake's losing her mind.
Just let her bark. It's fine.
I know, but
I think that's a very big jump. 10% is already generous. $75 for you doing nothing? Like, you're doing nothing.
I'm changing my entire habits and my routine, and I'm helping the environment, and I'm helping you have peace of mind. I feel like $250 is only fair. If I was really, really wanting to negotiate, I would say start at $500, but I'm telling you exactly where I should go.
If you started at $500, we would not be talking about this, because the flat out answer would be no.
Okay, all right. So let's address this chat really quick. OG fan, I have 10 Boba Fett's and 2 more on order. 3 Supermans is not that bad. That's great context, actually. You know what? And only 10 Bobas? Come on. And OG fan, did you get the warrior or arena suit Boba Fett? Because that one I was on the fence about, but I couldn't justify adding one more when I want the one on the throne. So, and some guy is saying, do this, take a poll and let the chat decide. Yeah. Okay, let me figure out how we do a poll here.
I would be.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's tricky. That's tricky. I need to go back and see who's in the chat.
That's awesome.
I feel confident. I feel like you all will have my back. Okay, because 10% is generous. I wasn't even thinking that it was going to be $75. I feel like for doing absolutely nothing, and I want this on the record. Mm-hmm. So you said for 1 month. Are you extending that? Are you going to water? Like what?
I said I'll do it moving forward,
What? Do what?
I will collect the water moving forward. I even thought, I'm going to get you a bucket. So
oh my God, that would make me so happy.
So I was like, I'll get a plastic bucket. So then, and remind me what they're called, where it's got the handle and it's got the spigot and you water your plants with it. It's all on the tip of my tongue here. So let's do something though. So I couldn't figure out how to do a poll. If I had my other co-host, Ben Thomas, I'm sure he'd figure it out for us. You just know nothing about tech. So let's do this. If you're here in the chat, please just write down a number. So Gigi said 75. I said 250. It could be higher, it could be lower, but write a number in the chat that you think is fair. we're going to take the average of that number and we'll make sure that that's going to be the tax exemption. He's going to wash the dishes and he's going to Hoover for a month. Normally washes the dishes.
That's true. I wash the heavy duty ones, like the pots and the pans, and like anything that doesn't go in the dishwasher, I do.
So let's see. Ralph Florine is saying, "What's up, collectors? I still have one payment on this." Oh, awesome. So I'm sure that you're excited to get this one in. This was my most anticipated release of this year, to be honest. So Bob Dylan is saying he's very smart working out percentage rather than absolute amounts. Yeah, I should have said percentages here. But all right, so some guy, we got the first one in at 125. Okay, well, this is insulting to me, but I appreciate you, some guy. Let's see. Gigi is saying, this is a hard situation. Or excuse me, Tyria is saying, Gigi, this is a hard situation. Jury consists of collectors and enablers. I came in late, but what are we voting for exactly?
Okay, so the tax. What should the tax exemption be for Marco? Marco started the at $250, and I said 10%. No, I said 10% first, which he summed up and equaled to $75. Then he countered with $250, and I said that's too damn high. So now everybody in the chat can put how much do you think should be the tax exemption for Marco. And so basically the tax exemption is Marco has to pay 1 for 1. So he will get that as credit, not towards, let me be very clear, not say it was $75. It would not be $75 towards a collectible.
Figure, yeah.
Whew, almost got canceled.
I don't even know what you almost said.
It will be $75 off of what he has to pay in addition to the figure.
To our shared accounts for travel and house expenses and everything else. So yeah, thank you for breaking that down, Gigi. So we got Ty coming in at $200. Ty, I appreciate you. It could have been a bit higher, but I appreciate that. Lima Hernandez at $330 because of inflation. Exactly right. That is exactly right.
Okay, I thought you were on my side. This is getting out of control.
Also, if you wouldn't mind hitting a like button if you're watching this, if you're enjoying this banter, then you can help the algorithm or whatever the heck. So 12-inch Moose Stream, when you budget your money for the year, what percentage is disposable income? I don't necessarily do it off that 12-inch Moose Stream.
Let me tell you, I told him this in the beginning of the year when he started collecting. I said, why don't you put a percentage or a set amount of your disposable income towards no tax, okay? This was before the tax even came up. And he said no, because I quote, don't restrict me like that.
I like to do my finances a little more jazz. So it's after I end up paying into my, I've got 2 Savings Plus accounts. We've got savings that we invest into. We've got 2 investment properties. So it's like after I take all those cuts, then that's normally where my, disposable toy income comes from. So trying to be responsible, but it gets out of hand really quickly. So Bob Dylan is saying $75. So I'm tallying these all up. So far we are at 4 people, and we've got Bob Dylan at 75. Thank you for siding with Gigi, but you know what? He said that's close to 3 sideshow coupons. Sounds fair. All right.
Bob Dylan, $75 was high for me. Like, I couldn't even believe that it was at $75.
That's hilarious. So let's see. OG fan. Oh yeah, the Arena Fet is in the collection, waiting on the Throne Boba now. Yeah, that Throne Boba is going to be incredible. I'm hoping for that one to hit discounts because I really want to swoop him up. She's already like, you have enough thrones. I have the Black Panther throne.
I zoned out. I'm not even going to listen to what you just said.
All right, let's see. Tully, what's going on? Hope you both are well. Thank you for joining, Tully. Appreciate that. Let's see. OMFG Rick is saying
these
350.
Numbers are way too high.
That's fine.
Y'all, all he has to do is turn on the water. Literally nothing else. There's nothing else that he has to do. He just has to make sure that the bucket, it's a small bucket too. It's not like it's like getting in his way. It's not like he has to like take it out and water the plants. Like y'all are wilding out here.
All right, so 235. Thank you, Patton 23. So that's
too
6.
Too high.
All right, so the next one we've got is OG Fan is saying 300 per month in exemptions. Wow, so
okay, no. OG Fan, how does that even make sense in your head? I don't even understand.
It makes an incredible amount of sense, honestly. Will Foxification, the power couple has returned. Will, thank you for joining, brother. Really appreciate that.
Sorry, I am flabbergasted here.
Yeah, Gigi is on one right now. Force choke the like. Thank you, totally appreciate that. Oh my gosh. I know.
Puberty?
Allergies are bad right now. Okay, so Brandon Salad in at 150. Could have been higher, Brandon, but I appreciate that. And that is 8.
Okay, I feel like you're going to have to go back and calculate.
Baby boy, just hopping in now. Marco, blink twice if you need me to come over and cause a scene.
You're missing. So we are leaving it up to the chat to tell us what Marco's tax exemption should be. Again, for context, I said 10% of whatever he had owed. I don't know. And he said $250. I do need you to come over here to be like $250.
Oh, man. So Philip the Fool is saying 215 seems fair. All right. Thank you, Philip. Appreciate that.
I need to say this again. He does not have to do anything else.
I'm changing my whole routine around.
How? I need to know how you are changing. How?
You've asked me to do an extra step.
I'm going to ask the judge to, like Dwajolin said, permission to treat the witness as hostile, number 1. And I'm going to need the witness to answer the question.
Oh my gosh. Well,
how does it change it?
I'm telling you, the shower is my time. That's where I do my best thinking. And you're asking me to change my routine.
How?
So you're asking me to, I've got to put this bucket in. I've got to think about it.
No, you just like, okay.
Let's see. Ty is saying, I'm trying to not have Gigi kill me. That's a safe bet there. Let's see. We've got Paul Schreiber saying, don't forget the CPI excludes food and energy. Inflation is much higher than being reported. Give this man 500. Thank you, Paul.
Okay.
It makes so much sense.
I did not. You know, I had high hopes for y'all in the chat. Like, I felt like you all were going to come through. And I feel like that's what happens when, you know.
Yeah, you left it up to a bunch of collectors. Exactly.
Yeah, but like 200 plus, like that makes no sense. No sense.
So Tukatri is saying it's getting tougher with crazy increases in price. Exactly, Tukatri. I'm just looking out for.
Buy the figures.
Wow. All right. You're like Joe Biden right now. Pay them more. OG fan is saying, does Gigi pay a tax when she buys something superfluous? Just curious. She does actually. So we had this debate about the camera that she bought. What's the camera that you got?
It's a Canon Mark 5D. It's like the holy grail of wedding photographers, essentially.
There you go.
And I had been wanting it for 10 years, OG fan, okay? And we actually agreed that I didn't have to pay a tax because I buy my clothes. Again, I am a hippie. I want to reduce my carbon footprint. I buy my clothes from the thrift store. So I don't buy like expensive things. I donate money to charities or like just
humble brag,
individuals, but I'm not like, anyway, but I did pay the tax. Okay.
She
I
did,
I didn't have to, but it
was an expensive item and she worked hard and she paid her tax. So I will give her that. Let's see. Bob Dylan saying, I'm happily sipping my current tea because once a kid comes, all these streams will age like fine comedic wine. Best of luck keeping this up after 1/3 scale human drops. Yeah. That one is definitely, around the corner potentially for us. So we're,
no, it's not.
Well, you'll be done with school soon. So,
okay.
We can
That's a conversation for another time.
I guess we're not on the same page there. So you saw a real earnest moment right there. Let's see. Gigi never buys superfluous things. Yeah, she did with the camera, but just about,
10 years later. And I didn't even get the new one, the mirrorless one. I got an older model because it was still very expensive because these cameras hold their values very well. But I didn't want, I couldn't justify it. The camera body alone for the new mirrorless one is $3,000. I could not justify that because I want to get good at taking pictures first before I take that next jump.
Okay, so Bob Dylan saying you're both adorable and wholesome. Thank you so much, Bob Dylan. That means an incredible amount. Clone Collector,
thank you very much.
I think you voted twice. I might have to. So I'm gonna see if Clone Collector voted twice. I'm gonna cut it there. I'm gonna tally it all up, and then we'll.
I don't like this.
Yeah. You want to go ahead and keep addressing the chat? Or?
Yes. Sure.
Okay, I'll
you're going to do it right now?
Yeah, I have to tell you that.
He's going to do math on the spot.
We're going to do it live.
All right.
I'm going to need to look up, though. So you just have to address them one by one, and then I'll scroll down for you.
I don't know how to do that.
Oh, okay. So Ty is saying it's a new routine, though. Let's see.
No, it's not. He is getting it doesn't prevent him from showering or the length of his shower, because the water just flows over. It's not like I said, once that, it's not like this huge bucket. It's not like a 5-gallon bucket where he has to like move it off to the side, or like it doesn't get his way. It's a tiny little thing. And he can take a shower whenever he wants. He doesn't have to remove and water. Like, there is absolutely the only inconvenience is sometimes the water gets full and I haven't gone to water, and so it's still there, and he's like, can you come get the bucket? And then I have to go and do it. Like, there is absolutely like 2 seconds. That is not a new routine. I'm sorry, but overruled or sustained.
All right. So let's see. If you like furries, I like feet. Yeah, I think he's talking to Will Fox Vacation there. We're all into some weird stuff, all right? We all collect dolls. So give Marco 2 exemptions per year.
I like that.
Okay,
I like that.
Putting a cap
a birthday and like anniversary. Our anniversary is coming up, and we said no gifts. So we're just going to have a really nice day.
Chikatri's asking, what's the reasoning behind the exemption? I just got here. You want to explain it to him one more time?
Yes. So when Marco started collecting about 2 years ago now, and he tricked me, first of all. He said it was just going to be a Thanos, and that was it. And I was like, oh yeah, it's expensive, but it's a one and done type of thing. So I was like, sure, go ahead. And that was not the case. I don't know if the streams came first and then the Thanos, or like the Thanos came first and then what came first, chicken or the egg? And then he just like, streams were just going on nonstop in our house. Like, to the point where he was like, oh, this is this person. I was like, I don't need you to tell me. I know who this person is. Like,
I literally know.
Yes. And he was like, I remember one. He's like, oh, that's Dean. I was like, I know who he is. Thank you. Like, I don't need you to say anything. I know you have them on 24/7. It's like football. Football comes around and like, it's just sports all the time. That's how it is, like on the off season. It's just like streams all the time. So,
and right now that it's football and streams, luckily she's back in school, so she's not around for a lot of the stuff. But yeah, it gets out of control quickly.
Yeah. So again, Thanos, so I was like, okay. And then because he used to collect shoes before that.
I don't think he means the entire history of the exemption. I think he just means, why are we arguing about this exemption?
Oh.
Chikatri, you're like, I've been one of the day one fans, and she's explaining.
Because why should there be another exemption? You only do your taxes once you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the year, you get one, maybe a refund check.
So long story short, though, she asked me to collect water when I shower so that we could water the plants. And I had to, she said, she bribed me with, I'll give you an exemption on the toy tax if you do this for a month. And so I said, I'll do it moving forward, but I want a significant
for a
exemption.
Month. You did not say significant.
So she said 75.
At the time of the contract, significant was not in the contract.
She said 75. I said 250.
I
do
said
have
10%.
The results here. I'm going to catch up with the chat, and then we're going to talk about the results. So then we can, have a few minutes.
I would destroy you in court. I just want to say.
So 1 figure per month should be exempt. Thank you, OG fan. That's what I'm saying.
Why? First of all, why are you getting 1 figure per month? Like, don't even bring that negativity into my day today, okay?
Let's see. There should be a third voice in this conversation. Yeah, I was going to have Ben Thomas be the arbiter. Is that the arbitrator? I'm not sure which term, but he's had a very busy work schedule, so we just try to fit it in really quickly here. But
the chat is the third voice.
There you go. The chat is the third voice. Give Marco exemption when he buys from me. Yes, Danny. By the way, I love Danny. He hooked me up with some incredible deals on both that Hulk and the Mando Scout Trooper and Speeder, which I haven't set up yet. That was it. That was all. We'll see what's in the future. Let's get together soon before OxCon so we can plan some stuff out. Yomo's in the house. Thank you, Yomo, for joining. Let's see. 12-inch Moose Stream. No kids yet? Then figure up. Exactly. These figures are my kids, basically. So let's see. Ed, and Eddie. I feel like this is your burner account, but what's up, guys? Hope all is well. And thank you, Eddie, for joining. Miss you, bro. Hopefully we can get together with you soon. We got Tukatri. just one hot toy is like it. Here, why would you read this one?
Just one hot toy is like just the okay. Why would you make me read that?
All right, it was a setup.
Oh my god.
That's right, too. Exactly right. Let's see. Oh, which one? Sorry, I missed this. Okay, sorry. From some guy.
Gigi, you have a great husband. At least he's not sneaking the figures into the house unless he is sneaking them in drink. That is, he does sneak them in. We have we have a very small home, and the front door is really, right by where you have to pass for everything. And so as front doors do.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably typical. And so every time a package comes, she's actually been getting a lot of stuff recently. She's like into totes. And so like all the packages that have been coming are for her. And she's not materialistic, but she'll buy like, I don't know, a tote bag or something really basic. Sorry, I just called you basic. She's like, what'd you order? I'm like, that's your stuff. Don't even dare.
First of all, I've gotten two things. One, thank you gift, and the other one was a purchase. Anyway, go on.
Anyway, so I'm going to read the results of the chat's toy tax results here in just 1 second. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. You can't collect everything, okay?
You know what? Some guy have really slowed down on the Jordans. Last year I didn't get any because obviously we weren't even walking anywhere. So where was I going to wear my Jordans? So I'm kind of picking my lane, and my lane is hot toys at this point. I live vicariously through baby boy. He's the one that's still the collector of Jordans here. But let's see. Paulo is saying, I'm at about one a month. My wife suggests 4 a year. I know. So we're similar. I try to do like 1 a month, maybe. That seems like a legitimate amount. But yeah, Gigi's like, why don't you cap it at like, just do, what did you want me to spend? Like $2,000?
No. I said $5,000 a year for collectibles for your spending money, and he said no. Then I said, okay, what about 20?
He said no. Nice.
And then I said, what about 20? No more than 20 hot toys or collectibles, and he said no. And so it's been a series of iterations. Full Ralph Flower. And now we're doing negotiations. Yeah, Jose is asking, did I hear about the InArt event in Las Vegas? I just heard about it this morning. And I guess it was kind of iffy on whether it was happening or not. I was going to message John to see if I could be added to the group, but I will be in San Diego during the time of that. So I guess I could theoretically drive to Las Vegas, but it would be too crazy. I think I'll just enjoy my time in San Diego and see if it happens what the other collectors have to say about the figures. Eddie is saying, oh, go ahead, read this one. No, I don't water. I don't have a garden because I have a black thumb, but it's just trees. I'm watering trees with the water. I did set her up with a garden. It was a pretty bootleg garden, but she killed everything. Just much like she kills the vibes. Never started. She kills all the house plants. I do kill succulents. Yeah, we're just no good with plants. So we're trying to be better. That's one of the reasons for all the water. Bob Dylan saying there definitely needs to be a dispassionate third-party facilitator. Also, what's the statute of limitations on pre-order? If older than 2 years, are terms negotiated? So I think you're right, Bob Dylan. I think for the next time we do one of these, we'll definitely bring in a third-party host. Number one, to kind of handle the chat so we can bicker a bit more. There is no statute of limitations currently. What do you think, Gigi? What do you mean? Like if I haven't received the figure in 2 years, is it still taxed? No, because you should be. No, because it's a one-time thing. It's not like a 10% for every figure. So this almost works like an import tax, to be honest with you, because when the figure arrives on the doorstep is when I pay the tax. So because I've had this one paid off. Well, it should be when you buy the figure. I've been very lenient, okay? I'm not as bad as the IRS. I've been very harsh but fair, I like to think. So 12-inch Blue Stream is saying, now T-tops and module cases, shouldn't that count towards a luxury tax? You are correct. It does. You are correct. It does count. So I did buy module cases that I'm paying off currently that hopefully I will see closer than within a year. But when those arrive, I will be paying that tax. So that's gonna hurt. Let's see. Toby is saying, I was married once before too, and she gave me an ultimatum: figures or her hot toys, and I have been going strong ever since. I think you made the right choice. Honestly, anyone that would give you an ultimatum like that, that's very tough. So sorry to hear that, but you made 100% the right choice there. Takatri is saying, does one statue equal 2 hot toys or 1 hot toy? The statue would just be a $1 amount. So yes, that's one of the reasons why I haven't gone down the statue. Yeah, it's not like it's a 1 for 1. So whatever it is, it's a 1 for 1. Yeah.
And I will say that the Prime one, the Batman statue, is probably the closest I've come, but I couldn't justify it when I was like, I can add the Hot Toys one, I can add the in art, I can get the Bat Cycle for all the same price. To me, it didn't seem worth it. But there are a lot of beautiful pieces out there. Some guy is saying, Marco, do this. Don't shower at all. You can get all the figures you want. I'm not sure how that rationale would work, but I like it. Oh man, because I'm going to get kicked out because I stink. Okay. So what if you sell a figure? Tax credit? We haven't negotiated that yet. Wow.
No.
It should be though.
No.
Yeah, I think she does operate much like the state of California, where it's like, oh, okay, well, you've already paid the tax. We're going to tax you on the PayPal as well. It's all bogus. So the results, we've got about,
no way.
We've got about 5 minutes here. Gigi can go back. She can add it up if she'd like, because it's all there in the chat. But the results of everyone's numbers that were laid on the table, $248. And so thank you all. You got me to the 250 that I was hoping for. Don't clap.
Recount.
250. The numbers are there. So if anyone catches me slipping, I'm not trying to fudge the numbers. That's what I did. I'm very bad at math.
How dare you all?
Would Gigi ever accept tax payments in the form of other than money? This is doing housework, errands, vis-a-vis. I don't know how to say the last one. I'm not very familiar with Latin, but
the answer is no.
Okay.
I'm a businesswoman first and foremost.
Bob Dylan, you have to know though, we do not conform, to typical gender norms. So I do most of the cleaning, most of the cooking because she's in school. I give her a break. So I do a lot of the stuff around the house. For now. So honestly,
but we go through waves.
Yeah,
it's not like you do it all.
It's a team. It's a team effort. Sometimes I'll, throw a tantrum like, I'm cooking too much. You need to handle this.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. She's like, you've been sitting on your ass all day. I'm like, you know what? Even then, I want to be pampered sometimes. We all need that from time to time. My wife said four. Oh man. Let's see. The collector grid. My tax with my partner is to sell stuff when stuff starts coming in. Normally that would work well. I am very frugal and I have a hard time as well with parting with my figures. And so frugal isn't the correct term, but if I was to sell something at a loss, that would really hurt me. So I try to hold off to sell stuff that I know I can make a profit on, which is not really Hot Toys right now. So, but that is a really good rule.
Also, he just doesn't want to get rid of his stuff. But that was another alternative that I proposed, and he said no. He said no.
There you go.
But I like to hear what other people do because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I really like that rule though, because it works for space and also for kind of replenishing the finances. If you can accept, right now taking a loss, but even then you get enjoyment out of the figure. So even if you sell at a loss, it's not the end of the world, honestly. Ducatri is saying parking pass equals a hot toy. I should have gotten several Hot Toys.
I should have charged interest on getting that parking pass. He did finally get it 2 years later, but no. And the tax is not retroactive. That's not how it works.
Totally disagree. Totally disagree. Jose is asking what my favorite Jordan is. I really like, 11 through 13, but my favorite is the 11. I've got probably predominantly 11s now that, are in this room. And those are really the ones that I go after now because those are the ones that I weren't really able to get when I was younger. And so now I love adding the Space Jams and the Concords. And so that's my favorite. How about yourself? What's your favorite one? We got Calvin Williams in the house. What's up, everyone? Calvin, did you go to Star Wars Celebration and did you get one of the Spider-Men with the churro? Because I'm very curious. So, so I think that just about wraps it up. This has been a very effective negotiation. I haven't seen anyone else, put up a counter number. So we're going to stick with $248. That brings me to roughly $500 or $498 of cushion that I have for when this Batman Superman 2-pack arrives.
You all betrayed me, and I am very disappointed in you all.
First of all, me right now. That's Superman. That's me right now.
I hate it here.
Let's see the collector grid. You want to read this one?
Adhere to the Marie Kondo way when I sell it at a loss. I enjoyed it, and now it's time to go.
I think that's I think that's a great way to look at it. It's a very healthy way to look at it as well.
Yeah, because you've already, you've had it, you got that FOMO out of the way, and now you can have somebody else enjoy it. I like that a lot.
There we go. Jose is saying my favorite is definitely the Bread 11, but I like the Cement 4s. Oh, those are fantastic as well. I don't personally have any of those with the Nike logo on the back. Just a classic. Yeah, I agree. That is an absolute classic. And so I try not to follow up on the shoes because there's so many coming out, and all my money is really with 1/6 right now. So I think when I do my collection tour, finally, I've got to put up one shelf so I can accommodate that speeder bike, and then I can do the collection tour. Maybe I'll show off a few of my Jordans as well. So let's see what Calvin was saying here, and I think we can kind of end the stream here. I got to keep my wife from your streams. Might get some ideas. That's a smart call, Calvin. Compromise with her own vanity room that looks like Bath and Body Works store. There you go. You got that's awesome. You got to find compromise where you can. So Jose saying, I'm on Gigi's side. This is an addiction.
Thank you,
I'm expecting like 8 to 9 figures by the end of the year. I think that's a really great and like healthy number, to be honest. I try to limit what I get in, but sometimes it's really easy to get carried away. So I do have my spreadsheet, like I always preach, and like Will preaches, and many other content creators. You got to keep track of what you're getting, but 8 to 9 sounds perfect, to be honest. Brandon Salad saying the Chicago Jordan 1s perfection. Oh, those ones. And they've released some of the patent leather ones as well recently. It's just like, I can't do it, but I desperately want to. Some guy is saying Jordan Cement 3s, all-time greats, no doubt about it. Bob Dylan is saying, it's a great reality check that rarely occurs in this hobby. Thanks. I don't know if he meant this stream or, having the spreadsheet, but yeah, we we try to be as authentic as possible and kind of share the struggles that we have. So Bob Dylan, really appreciate all the input and for joining this stream. Yomo is saying, this is a cool Superman figure. I'm really excited to see what InArts looks like when they release it. That is a great cautionary tale, right? InArt's going to be doing so many of these DC figures that you really got to be saving up your pennies for that. One of the reasons why I ended up going with just the sculpted, the Batman figure from InArt, because I was like, I can't drop another 1,000 on another 2-pack because there's more DC right around the way. So let's see. We'll take this one as a last comment. Calvin is saying, I did go and have a great time. Unfortunately, when I got there to pick it up, the last one grabbed right as I was walking up to do it. Oh, no. I'm sure it's going to drop on Sideshow, honestly, like others are speculating, but really awesome to hear that you went. That's definitely on the bucket list to go to a D23. So really, really cool you were able to go. And even though you missed out on the Spider-Man, not the end of the world there. So thank you all for joining. Thank you for, your contributions. $248 is the final amount, unless anyone DMs me that I did the math wrong, which is totally possible, or if Gigi kind of challenges. But glad everyone was able to contribute on this really, really silly.
I will be submitting an appeal. This is no fun for me. Wow. You all disappointed me.
Who's the judge? Is Ben Thomas the judge, or do we need to bring Zach and Dean and John in here? Yeah, but no, really appreciate everyone. And so upcoming on our channel, we're hoping to drop another episode of the podcast, a full-blown episode. And then we'll hopefully have some Bargain Bin Bro streams here. Also going to be doing some, figures that I want from the wish list here, like sports figures or video game figures. So trying to do some pre-recorded content as well. So last 2 comments, Jose is saying, I think I'm going with the sculpted InArt too. Can't justify the others. Yeah, I think that's kind of the prudent move considering if you want these other ones. And that's going to do it. So Gigi, anything else to say?
No, but also next time we need to have a poll because this was no good for me.
Yeah, I'm going to figure out how to do a poll, and then we can maybe set some ranges and stuff. But in this instance, you were out-lawyered by me, and so it'll happen. You got to study a bit harder, but
the jury was crooked.
It was rigged.
How do you get $2 less than what you? No, that's something that's going on. You told them something happened.
This was not premeditated at all. Thank you all so much. And Gigi, do you want to take us out?
Bye.